Today on The Social, Bad Bunny will headline the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show. What can we expect from the Grammy-winning Puerto Rican superstar? And how comfy do you get on airplanes? Why one Canadian airline is taking away the option to recline in economy. Then, from supersized specs to the 90s rectangle revival, the latest trends in eyewear and what to consider when searching for a style that suits your face. Plus, what to know about PCOS, the signs, symptoms, and solutions. Polycystic ovary syndrome is often misdiagnosed and can have a big impact on a woman's life. It all starts now on The Social.
Welcome to The Social. We'd like to welcome back on the panel writer B. Quammie. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Why don't we start off on Let's Go Blue Jays! For the first time in a decade, the team is heading to the playoffs as American League East champions. Yay! In case you missed the game, the Jays smashed the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday, 13-4.
Yeah.
And that means they took the division title for the first time since 2015. Go, Jays, go! Let's go! All right. Okay, in other big sports news yesterday that dropped, sports and entertainment, Puerto Rican superstar Bad Bunny is headlining the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show! So why this is catching a lot of headlines is because Bad Bunny announced earlier in the year that he would not be touring the U.S. over fears that Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents, otherwise known as ICE, could be outside of his concert venues. So a lot of discussion, especially in the United States, about this big decision. So what do you make as Bad Bunny is now the choice for halftime performer? B, do you like this?
I love it. I love it. Like, as a performer, as an artist, I am team Bad Bunny. So I love it. Yes. Like, this latest album, Debí Tirar Más Fotos, that's the best Spanish I'm gonna do. Pronunciation. But I tried.
Very impressive.
Thank you. But I feel like that opened him up in a whole different realm in terms of audience. And it was in a very specific type of message that he was sending. It was very specific to his heritage, to his roots. And I feel like that's what he's going to do in the show. It's not gonna be Bad Bunny 101. It's going to be like, this is my show, this is what I do, this is how I express myself, and you can come along. I'm not gonna give you the explainers, you can come along and see what it is. So yeah. I'm really excited to see it.
Me too, and listen, and you say Bad Bunny 101, I'm gonna give people some Bad Bunny 101, because I think not, even though he's an international artist, there are gonna be some people who don't know, because his music is primarily in Spanish. His album, I'm not gonna try and say it, because my Spanish, no bueno. But his album dropped earlier this year and became #1 on the Billboard 200. He's an international artist, the most streamed artist as well. And then he started his residency in Puerto Rico this year, and that garnered over $165 million for that island. So when we're talking about a good business decision, this is the guy. This is also the demographic that the NFL wants. So on paper, it makes sense. And I am a fan, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm also watching what's happening politically in the United States, and we're in Trump's America, and I'm nervous. As we mentioned in the intro, he decided not to have any American tour dates, right? Because he was worried that his fans would be grabbed up by ICE. We know what's happening in Los Angeles. The halftime show is gonna be happening in Los Angeles. So I'm just looking at this like, well, what's gonna happen? You know, Trump likes to show up at these big events. He showed up at the last Super Bowl. He showed up at the US Open. if he's there with a solamente español artist, is he gonna make some kind of comment about that? How are the fans who don't speak Spanish going to react to him? Is he going to feel pressure to make commentary because he feels a way about his people being attacked and grabbed off the street? I'm nervous in that way for him. Not that I don't think that he should do those things, but just the backlash. So I have mixed emotions.
He could very well be political, but I think just the very fact that he is there is the overt political act of in its making, so to speak, because of those meetings.
Art is political,
he doesn't
right?
have to be overtly political and pull out like some tricks out of his pocket. Him just being on that stage for all the reasons that you said is the political act.
What's interesting to me is that the overlap of mega fans who mega peeps who are NFL fans. There's going to be a lot of us who watch, probably like Jess, and a lot of people who, actually, I was going to say you're probably just watching for the halftime show, but you're watching
for the game.
No, you actually you're the opposite.
Yeah, you do.
Okay? There's a lot of people who are going to only tune in because it's the show. So those two things are competing, like last year. Those two things are really interesting to me because on the one hand, you would say, well, the NFL, it's very pro-America, and on the other hand, the mega folks are livid that it's Bad Bunny. They cannot believe that this is the guy that the NFL chose. So there's already friction. But when you look at what the NFL is doing business-wise, the future of the NFL is no more growth just in America. Their eyes are international. The biggest growing markets for the NFL are London, Munich, Mexico City. Then they're expanding to Asia, South America, Brazil, Spain, Canada.
Do you think that choice?
This is a choice to me that is about business, not just about, well, are we going to make Trump happy or not with this choice?
Because we know that, or rather, I just learned, you guys probably already know this, but Jay-Z's company is the company responsible for pitching what artists are part of the halftime show. And do you think for that reason, the international appeal, that made him strengthen his pitch to the NFL?
I mean, listen, always follow the money. Always follow the money. It's
also,
true.
speaking of money, you know that the halftime performer does not get paid for the performance, right? So it's very interesting that Bad Bunny even decided to do this. So I'm just really interested to see what he's going to do on that stage, because I don't know if you guys remember when J-Lo performed at the halftime show a few years ago. There was I think it was also Trump's America, where they were putting kids in cages, and she wanted to express that on her stage, and she got a lot of pushback. She did something, but it didn't come off the way that it sent a message like, oh, she's talking about this. It looked more artistic and fun, because I saw the kids and I was like, oh, that's cute. They're in little LED, little like balls. And it was like, no, she was making commentary. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets to creatively say whatever he wants, or if there's going to be like, okay, we got you here, but we have to walk that fine line. It's going to be interesting. I'll be watching.
We'll see. Listen, and don't forget, you can watch the Super Bowl right here on CTV. This is going to be taking place February the 8th, 2026, Santa Clara, California. We've given you lots of other reasons to watch besides just the amazing football that it's going to be. Okay, why don't we take a quick break and we'll be back right after this.
Tomorrow on The Social, it's National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. We're marking the day with incredible guests and thought-provoking conversations.
Okay, if you've got thoughts and opinions on everything we're saying here, you like Bad Bunny, you don't like Bad Bunny, whatever it is, get us on social media and join this conversation.
And who doesn't like Bad Bunny? Anyways, soon on many WestJet flights, your ability to recline your seat in economy will be based on how much you pay. The airline said in a press release, don't yell at me, I didn't come up with that decision. Wait, okay. The press release that it's revamping some of its plans to preserve personal space for passengers. This comes amid growing debate online over whether it's rude to lean back in already cramped conditions. So are you okay? Well, I already know what you're gonna say. Oh no, I'm asking you the question. You're not okay. So ladies, are you okay with this decision?
I'm not okay. I am 6 feet tall. I am 6 feet tall. I should not have to pay more because I want to recline an inch just to feel as comfortable as somebody who's 5'2". Discrimination. discrimination.
That's discrimination.
I'm going to fight it. But I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, there are so many different ways that different airlines are doing things to recoup and get money, and I never thought it would come to reclining seats. I never thought that would be a thing that we were going to start charging for.
Sometimes it's hard to stomach because 5 minutes ago certain things were free, and then all of a sudden today we're paying for them, like choosing your seat. Like you want, like is bathroom breaks next? Like are they gonna?
Maybe.
That's an extra fee.
Maybe they're gonna give you.
Are you kidding?
We're floating the idea. It's an ultra frugal.
Maybe they're gonna hand you a diaper and go, best of luck. See you on the other side. Because like you make a good point, because I feel like airline travel has gone from glamorous to grim, and I will admit I'm very cheap and I will never buy that business class flight because my money doesn't work that way. And I have allowed a lot of things to happen. The hot meals were gone, the pillow and the blankets were gone. You're giving me a Scotia, that soda that I asked for, and I'm fine with it. But I feel like this is the straw that's gonna break the camel's back, because if I'm on a long flight, a couple hours, and you're telling me I can't even get those 2 to 3 inches, ladies, we know 2 to 3 inches does not make a big deal, right? As far as reclining. But if you're taking that away, like, come on.
Well, here's the thing.
We're gonna stand on the plane like it's a subway?
I know. Well, remember the bike seats they were floating for a while? But anyway, here's the thing. We have choice. We have choice as customers. And you remember the whole debacle that happened with airlines here in August? I don't have to go back there. It was a dark time. I was caught up in that, and because my flights were canceled on a trip, a family vacation, I was forced to look for a plan B. They have to be careful, because my plan B could now become my plan A, because you're doing crazy things like this, and we have choice. So I ended up being forced to buy an airline ticket on an Italian airline. Their economy seats were 100 times better than another airline's premium economy seats. Because they do travel differently in Europe. Let me just tell you that. I can name a bunch of airlines where the basics are still kind of nice. And so what that made me realize is we have choice. And so because, you know, we work hard for our money, if you're lucky to get time off to be on a plane, and now you feel like they're unbundling and they're nickel and diming us for every little thing, it takes away from, I think, the specialness. Now, they say, and by the way, a lot of airlines are doing this. In the States, a ton of them do this. Spirit does. There's a ton of them. There's no more reclining seats in a certain class. They force you to buy up if you want the recline. But for some people, they are willing to give up comfort for cost. So I don't want to take away choice, but if the default is basement stuff, I'm going to maybe choose elsewhere. And that's going to be on you.
You know what I was thinking? You know how every industry has their conferences? I can see them at the conferences looking at the other airlines like, listen, we've all got on board with not reclining seats, so get on board with this so that we're all able to charge the same amount. So I think it's only a matter of time before every single airline's like, this is what it is, people. You want to fly, you're going to have to fly
Everybody's
private.
trying to do more with less with less with less. Is how it's going. Okay, everybody, Oscar-winning actor Sean Penn, well, he's got a little bit of a reputation, a big reputation for being a little bit, let's call it crotchety. So New York Times podcast, The Interview, asked him where his anger comes from. And he said, quote, "It's humans. Specifically, human incompetence," he says. Like bad airplane service or cashiers who don't know what they're doing. So can you relate? What kind of incompetence, if any, drives you mad?
I like that he did point out humanity is great, he said. He said that humans are the problem. And I think because there are unwritten rules that allow us all to coexist in society. And I love rules. And as soon as those rules are broken, and the rules tend to be very simple, you know, line up. Or don't line up until you're called to line up, like at the airport. Don't litter. Don't make a right-hand turn from the middle lane. Use the turning lane. And as soon as one person breaks one of those rules, humanity suffers.
Is there
what do you think? What do you think? Thank you.
We need to give you a minute.
Okay.
So my biggest and most recent crises of incompetence has been around people who use my email, which is my name. My name is literally like in the email. and you spell my name wrong when you address me. Or you make up a new name. Like, why am I getting an email directed to Beatrice? Beatrice is, I'm not Beatrice.
Is that autocorrect that sometimes does that?
I mean, that's a serious autocorrect if you're going from, but again, I've had so many different things that are not autocorrect, or calling me Quammie when that's not my first name. We have a Quammie here already. I'm not a Quammie. We got a Quammie here. It's not me.
Listen, I feel like I just need to defend all the people because, you know, Sean's an angry man, and I'll say, listen, when you're working an hourly job and you're in school and you're just trying to make a little money, sometimes when you get that customer service job, you're maybe not the strongest. Have a little bit more patience, because I feel like sometimes that's my frustration, where we have people and going, oh, can you believe this? I'm like, relax, there are 2 cashiers here, give this person a chance. You don't need to exercise all of your anger. That's the police coming for them on this person.
That's not part of the social contract.
No.
Hey, what about this though? Is being late really so bad? Because a writer for the Globe and Mail, a writer says it's not, and that those who think being a bit tardy is problematic shows signs of narcissism and megalomania. So is being, and we're talking 2 to 3 minutes, is that so bad?
But wait a second. 2 to 3 minutes is different.
That's what the articles say.
B, you can agree with me. I come from a people who are notoriously known for being late, and to the point where it's like CP time, colored people time. But that being said, so I grew up kind of feeling like, oh, people are always late. And then I worked on a show with this guy. It was a group of us, and we were on location, and we had some very early start times because we had to drive a long way to our next location. And every single morning, the director was at least 45 minutes late. And I was doing my own hair and makeup, and we would all sit there really angry in the lobby. And one day I decided to go to his room and figure out what was going on, because this man is literally wearing a t-shirt and jeans and a pair of boots and has no hair and makeup. So I go, what's taking you so long? He goes, well, I'm the director and I'm in charge, so it's everybody has to wait for me because nothing happens until I'm ready. And I realized, oh, this is a power move. And since then, I've looked at it very differently. If it's business or if it's like dating, pay attention to those things, because that person is looking to have a power shift. It's like, you wait for me. And that's why I give people grace. You can send me a text and be like, there's traffic. I know how this city is. But if you're not willing to do that, I know exactly what you're doing, and you're on your own.
Wow.
I'm out.
That's nuts.
Do you think that these devices have anything to do with our anxiety about time now? Once upon a time, you used to use this thing called an analog watch.
I got one.
Had an arm and 2 hands, and a little hand and a big hand, and ours were all a little off. Yours could be 5 minutes off from mine, and so being late was like, well, you always give each other grace because their watches are probably different. The entire world is on the exact same time at every second. I think that this has induced a time anxiety that we just didn't have before, because there is a clear red line in the sand. You're either late or you're not. And I think that there's been a little bit of that where, yes, chronically late, that's a problem. Go talk to your therapist. Maybe it's a power struggle. But I think that our idea that as soon as one person is 1 minute late,
is
2 minutes. I think
you
our patient.
I will say, I do tend to be maybe a minute or 2 late, maybe a little bit more sometimes, but I do let people know, right? But I do have the anxiety around being late. So what I have done to kind of resolve that for myself is I don't run into the place and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late, I'm so sorry, and make it all about me being late. I apologize, so sorry I'm a few minutes late, but thank you so much for being patient with me.
That's nice.
Thank you so much for waiting. And recognize that that other person was impacted by my lateness. So I apologize, and I reflect, and I thank you. Competence, right?
We'll accept that. We'll accept that. We'll accept that.
Oh, humanity. It's a nice thing, isn't it? B, thank you for being here as always. Thank you. All right, everybody, on the other side of the break, the latest trend in eyewear. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back. We're back, everybody. So autumn officially started last week, but today we are bringing you the very latest and hottest eyewear trends of this season.
Yeah, here to walk us through the bold fall shapes and modern takes on classic frames is licensed optician and eyewear expert Wendy Buchanan. Welcome back to the program.
Great to be back with you.
And all of you.
Thank you.
Hey, can you give us a quick refresher? What should we always keep in mind when picking the perfect pair of eyewear?
Yeah, a few things. It's important that the frame mirrors the shape of your brow, that there's a nice, good, snug fit on the bridge so they don't land down here. And then you want a shape on the bottom that really chisels your cheekbones, gives you a lift.
Ooh, yeah.
But it's really so important that they feel good, that you step into that look. And if you can think of your glasses like a visual handshake, because they say so much about you before you even say hello.
Wow, that's really...
But also, I love that you said, like, we've got to love them too.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what are the trends or the styles this season.
Yeah, we're seeing 3 big trends. One is the modern aviator, and it has really evolved. It's more streamlined and feminine, and they're taking this classic into more of a glam look. And the second one we're seeing is supersized specs. This is an oversized, bold statement that kind of walks into the room before you do. And the third one is the 90s rectangular. And this is a remake where the 90s is coming in strong. And it's a throwback with a bit of a twist this season.
All right, so we're gonna try some glasses on. I'm actually gonna try on the 90s rectangular style.
Yes.
I love trying on glasses. I get really nervous sometimes. I take a selfie in the store because I get overwhelmed just to see if I like it, and I still don't make a decision. So I'm glad you're here to help me. So let's see the first one.
Let's start with this one.
All right, audience, you guys let me know if you like it, okay? Don't hold back. Oh!
Yeah.
Right? We like.
Go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good selfie right there.
All right, I'm going with the audience. Okay, so there are 2 more that you want me to try on.
Yeah.
So let's try on the next one. This one's the winner, right?
And this is not a flimsy throwback.
Okay.
So it's narrow rectangular, and then it has a bit of a cat-eye lip.
You guys are, right? Yeah. Okay.
So nice, so nice.
And then this is the third one.
And the third is a little more defined edges.
Okay.
A little more fashion forward, very sculpted.
Yeah, we
Does
like?
she mean business or what? Look
All
at
right,
this.
which one? 1, 2, or 3? 1. 2. Okay, everybody's yelling out everything. Okay, here you go. Thank you so much.
It's my turn.
Yeah.
You're up next.
Your
I'm a little nervous because I have a feeling that you cannot try on a pair of glasses and look bad.
Oh,
I think
no.
every
I
glasses
can.
look good on you.
Oh, no, I can.
So it's my turn. I'm gonna do the super-sized spec trend.
Supersized.
So what do you got for me?
Personality right here.
Personality. Okay.
When
Oh. I like that. And I can't see, so I'm just gonna trust you guys.
You know what,
looks
Jess?
good, Jess.
We can actually see your eyes more. with
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This
And it's
is
a good
great
color.
when
Yeah.
subtle isn't in your fashion vocabulary. It
Okay.
just doesn't come up that way.
okay.
Oh my gosh, this
bold.
is so outside of my comfort zone.
Oh. Okay.
Maybe? No?
So we're seeing supersized both in round and square. It's not one or the other.
Okay.
It's all of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You look like an
Yeah.
artistic director at a museum.
Yes.
Yes,
A
you
museum
do.
for Harry Potter, maybe.
It's,
Okay.
And then have a look at these.
Oh, yeah. Those are fun too.
Okay.
Those are fun too.
Yeah.
Is this like, these don't whisper, these scream that Jess has arrived in studio.
Yeah.
Sell
Those
it.
are-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Love
no.
that.
Thanks a lot.
Very nice.
Oh,
That was
you
really
should
good.
almost keep
You need
those
your real
on.
glasses.
Okay, so
They're so
I'm up
good.
next, and Wendy, we're going to be doing modern aviator, and I love me an aviator, like even old school aviator.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't even need an upgrade, but let's upgrade them.
Yeah, you're so good in an aviator, Melissa.
Okay, yeah.
And
I got cheekbones I got to deal with. It's the Filipino in me.
Yeah.
So
I
they
love
always have to clear here.
Those are nice.
that
that?
accentuates that with the placement of color.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the white detailing kind of gives it more of a aviator artistic vibe.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm part-time at the art museum.
Yeah.
You're my assistant. You're my
That's right.
assistant.
Yeah.
Okay, all
And
right. Ooh, this
here
is
we
interesting.
can
let's
soften
see.
the aviator a little bit.
Oh, this is good too.
Yeah.
We see more of your face.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Clearance for my cheekbones.
They all clear because we get that good fit on the bridge back to our main points.
Oh my God.
And the color works too.
Thank you. Where's my jet? Where's my jet?
Yeah.
Okay, and last?
And that definitely shows kind of that glam aviator too.
Yes, we love that.
Now, let's look at this.
I have a feeling this might be my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
This is beautiful.
One or three.
Yeah, 1 or 3.
So
Okay.
with the aviator, we can think less cockpit and more couture.
Yeah.
Love that.
Fun with glasses today.
The details on the side, they're stunning.
Wendy, thank you.
You're welcome.
This was so much fun.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, listen, when you're in the 40 plus club, this is your friend. This is what's happening. Thank you so much, Wendy. That was a lot of fun.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, after the break, Dr. Renee A. Beach is back joining us with simple steps to great skin. I can't wait. Right after this. I know. These are fun. Mom and all my aunts introduced me to Clinique's 3-step system. Anybody remember these? Ooh, I love it. So my cousins and I, we all used it. It was simple, effective, and also really important, gentle on our very reactive skin.
Well, Mel, a wise dermatologist once told me that the best routine is the one that you can stick to. So I love a back-to-basics approach to skincare. And here with simple steps to help everyone achieve great skin is that very wise dermatologist herself. Oh my God. Please welcome back to the show, Dr. Renee A. Beach. Dr. Renee, I feel like all of us know we want great skin, but there's not like a common denominator of what great skin actually means. What does it mean?
Okay, so for me, it means a few things. It means clean skin, so we're cleansing it every day. It means that it is collagen preserved, meaning that it has a certain thickness to it, a certain fullness. It doesn't look crepey or fine. It means that it is crease-free. Okay. Crease-free can be a little bit controversial because a lot of people like to hold on to their creases and they think that that's their roadmap for, you know, for life. And then clear. Everybody just wants clear skin. They want to get rid of those brown tones and those red tones. So to me, those are the features that I really look for in great skin.
Okay, so let's talk about fundamentals. What are the fundamentals on how we can get great skin?
The fundamental is really consistency. So you need to develop a plan, adhere to that plan, and continue with the plan. When people are product hopping or using things for example, less than 3 months, that's when issues start to arise.
Oh, wow. Less than 3 months. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of skincare options out there, as you said. I think that's maybe why people are hopping all over the place. What is the problem, though, if you are product hopping or certainly doing so before that 3 months?
Yeah, so I think you risk, you know, losing money and gaining a lot of frustration. Yeah. That's really what it boils down to. And really from a skincare perspective, it's irritation. So that redness, that burning, that feeling of you're almost dreading your skincare, that's what the risk is.
How do you know if you're using too many products?
It's tough. I think simplicity is key. Yeah. I ask people to boil it down to 2 things, cleansing and protecting, which is sunscreen. Okay. And then for skincare keeners, maybe they add 1 or 2 other elements. But again, keeping it simple.
Okay, so I said this off the top that truly my first introduction into skincare as a teenager was through my mom's. Like the Filipino Clinique parties, look out. It was off the chain. We did. It was what we did. And there was the iconic 3-step system. And so how does a system like this actually help to take care of our skin? Okay, well, you know, take, for example, cleansing. You know, having soothing agents like sodium hyaluronate, aloe, those are able to act like complement a gentle surfactant and cleanse the skin without stripping it. When you think about a cleanser for example, oily skin, it has saw palmetto. Saw palmetto is a botanical that decreases oil. So it's this attention to detail, particularly because it's developed by a dermatologist, that helps to really hone in on skin care for a specific type. You know, if you're dry,
There's going to be the dry skincare products. If you're oily, there's going to be products that are dedicated towards targeting that particular concern.
Do you know, I'm embarrassed. I'm a woman of a certain age, and I don't know what my skin type is. So how do you determine your skin type, and how many options do I have?
Yeah, so this is a toughie, and it's also a bit controversial, but I would argue there's 4, maybe 5. So there's dry skin, flaky, and ashy, and then there's oily skin. Oily skin may look shiny come midday.
Okay.
And there's combination skin. So maybe you're dry on the cheeks, but then you're oily in the T-zone.
Gotcha.
And I do think there are people who are blessed and they have that normal skin type. So normal skin meaning they can put whatever on their face, they don't get particularly dry, they don't get oily. And I would argue that there is a 5th type, that you could have any of those types, but you are sensitive. So for example, red, flaky, irritated, burning sensation, even when you're putting on some of the most gentle products.
Wow, okay.
Okay, so it's not a surprise that for this job we wear a lot of makeup, and I love makeup, so I probably wear more than, maybe Jess over here. And then we're baking under these lights, so when I go home at night, I don't just cleanse once. I do a double cleanse almost every single night to get all of the makeup off. And so talk to us about, a product that is going to do that cleansing without the irritation, because that's a lot of cleansing that I do. And I know that Clinique has the All About Clean liquid facial soaps. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Sure. So having the soap is fine because it's meant to cleanse, but we don't want to cleanse and actually feel tight or dry or stripped afterwards. So the sodium hyaluronate aspect of it, the aloe aspect of it, those are the soothing agents that are going to be coupled with the cleansing, and so that after you cleanse, you feel renewed as opposed to feeling very dry or tight or irritated.
Okay, that's great.
Asking for a friend, what's the most effective way to apply a cleanser? And how many times a day should we be doing it?
Well, tell your friend that your friend needs to start by washing her hands. We touch infinite amount of things throughout the day. It's so important. Start with clean hands. So wash your hands, and then you want to wet your face. You want to take the product, massage it in for about a minute. When you're washing, you really want to make sure that the sink, that they're suds free. So everything's been washed off. There's no product residues. And then when you're patting dry ideally with a cotton towel. Okay. And this would all occur at the sink, as opposed to the shower.
Why? Why?
Well, because the water... The water temperature in the shower is hot. We have hot showers, it's true. So when you wash at the sink, your water temperature is going to be more gentle. It's going to be more amenable to having skin that doesn't feel very irritated after.
Quick question. Do you face cloth? Yeah.
This is so controversial. I will not activate the washcloth warriors.
Okay.
I plead the 5th on this.
Okay,
but
let's talk after.
I don't use one.
You don't use one. Moving on to step 2. Step 2 in Clinique's 3-step system, their clarifying lotion liquid exfoliator. So why is exfoliating an important part of this skincare regime?
Because we want to renew the skin. So we have many different layers of skin. The stratum corneum is the highest layer, and it can have a lot of dead skin cells on it. We want to be able to chemically remove them using an alpha hydroxy acid or a beta hydroxy acid. And what this does is it makes the skin appear more radiant. For people who are acne prone, they want to remove that dead skin. They want to remove that oil so that it's not clogging in the pores and causing those blemishes. So exfoliation that's designed to be used twice a day is really helpful for people to have that consistency.
Right, to make that pattern.
Yeah, good for a lot of makeup too. Okay, let's go move to step 3 of Clinique's system. It's their dramatically different moisturizing lotion. I still remember the smell of this. I bet you it hasn't changed. So how does that help our skin?
Okay, so moisturizer is also an emulsifier. It basically gives hydration back to our skin. It helps to make the skin soft and supple, and it also helps to repair our skincare barrier.
Hey,
sorry, just trying product here.
Listen, I think you have taught us this. You've drilled this into our head that we should all be wearing sunscreen. We all know this in our morning routine. But Clinique has created a new, dramatically different moisturizing lotion with SPF 50. So here's what I want to know. What's the benefit of combining moisturizer and sunscreen? And is it as effective as if you put it on the two things separately?
So as dermatologists, we love this. It's simplicity. We have been preaching for so long that sunscreen is part of skincare, and now it's actually manifested. And to go to your question about, applying it, really what matters is the amount. So we want to make sure that for our face, we are achieving 1/4 teaspoon per application. And for our face and neck, that's actually 1/2 teaspoon. We've heard so much online and so much in, various apps that sunscreen is dangerous and is to be avoided and it's this and it's that. What sunscreen does is it takes that UV energy, it converts it to heat. And so what it does, instead of causing DNA damage, is it basically protects our skin, and it's really part of a comprehensive skincare routine.
Did you hear that? The doctor said so.
Yeah, the doctor's in the house.
Tired of those people.
This is so soft.
I have to say, I said about the smell, it's the same.
Oh my God, it feels so good.
I just got transported years back in time. Dr. Beach, thank you so much. Great fundamentals. Well, audience, we're not just saving the fun for ourselves up here. Our friends at Clinique want to help you commit to great skin. So you are going home with a deluxe mini facial soap and clarifying lotion and a full-size moisturizing lotion. Wait, that's not all. That's not all. They are also sending you home with a coupon for 25% off your own customized 3-step routine. That's good. That's good. Okay. We're transformed. Let's take a break. We'll be back right after this. Feel good it feels? Oh, it feels? Yeah.
All right, welcome back. Periods can bring all sorts of discomfort and stress, particularly when they're irregular.
Well, our next guest is here to talk about the #1 cause of irregular periods. It's a condition known as polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, which impacts 7 to 10% of women globally. So please welcome to the show OBGYN and founder of Anova Fertility and Reproductive Health, Dr. Marjorie Dixon.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Can you let's start off with the basics here. What is PCOS and how does it cause the irregular periods?
So PCOS, I call it an incredible chameleon because it masquerades as a lot of different things. However, there's a hormonal dysregulation in the communication between your higher brain centers that are sending the messages to your ovaries, as we all sit, to ovulate every month. And because it's dysregulated, you don't ovulate. When you don't ovulate, you don't get a period.
Wow, I know, we're all just like, wow. All right, so who can this affect and how long can they be affected for?
So it can affect anyone that's born with ovaries and any time after your first period and then throughout your reproductive lifespan, so into the post-menopause.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a lot of miscommunication happening for a very, very long time.
Yes.
I want to talk about diagnosis for a second because you say in 2023 there was new criteria that came out for how PCOS is defined, how it's diagnosed. So tell us now, what is the updated criteria?
So you need to have 2 out of 3 criterion of the following. So the #1 is irregular periods, so irregular menses, #1. The second one is high androgens, that's male hormones. So every woman actually has male hormones, but you have higher than normal in your bloodstream, and sometimes it manifests. Then the third thing is having polycystic appearing ovaries. So that means that your ovaries, because you're not ovulating, you're sort of hoarding eggs, and they have a very typical appearance on ultrasound. So you have a lot of peripheral cysts because the ovaries the eggs aren't coming out of the ovaries.
Too full.
Yeah. So you need 2 out of 3 of those to have a proper diagnosis.
Why 2 out of the 3?
Because it needs to be diagnosed specifically. You want to have the specificity of a proper diagnosis because remember I said it's a crazy chameleon. And any one of those things in and of themselves can be other things.
Right.
So you said the #1 reason we're having irregular periods is PCOS, but other things can mean that you're not getting your period. So you might not get your period because you're stressed in an exam period at school, for example. Or you might have high levels of male circulating hormones and have hair on your face for other reasons. Right? So you have 2 out of 3, it improves the specificity of the diagnosis.
Okay.
Let's talk about fertility because I would imagine if you're having dysregulation in ovulation, fertility might be affected as well. So are those who have PCOS, are they having fertility issues too?
Okay, so this is probably my pet peeve. The patients come to me super anxious. They're always told, you will not be able to get pregnant because you have PCO. That is not necessarily true. Okay. So you can need to see someone like me, a fertility specialist, in order to time when you're supposed to have sex, because if you don't know when the eggs are coming out, the sperm can't hit the targets, can't make a baby. Okay? Right. So you might need to see a fertility specialist, but you won't necessarily have trouble getting pregnant.
And so presumably if you have PCOS and you don't want to get pregnant, you should still be using birth control.
1,000,000,000%.
Right.
Yeah.
1,000,000,000%. Because I see people who are like, doctor, I need to see you, I get referral for PCOS, and you see the patient and whoops, they're pregnant, like 14 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very good information. All right, so we're talking about periods and fertility, but you say there's so much more to consider when it comes to PCOS.
Yes.
What are those other things that we should consider?
So especially, this is the new guidelines came out, so you do have to have 2 out of 3, but there are considerations over your lifetime. So first, you have your missed and irregular periods. You have hair growth, so signs of, we call it virilization or hirsutism. So, you know, women can have male pattern hair loss, or acne on your face, back acne, hair around your nipples and your lower abdomen. Those are signs of high androgens. You can also, because it's a lot to deal with, irregular periods and the hairiness, a lot of women with PCOS end up having lifelong issues with anxiety and depression, because it's a lot to deal with, especially in society, with every image that you have as a woman is to be like hair-free and thin. Easy weight gain, tendency to easy weight gain, and I endorse that. My patients with PCOS will say, you know what, I'm exercising and I'm eating a healthy diet and I'm still gaining weight. And then your over lifetime are at risk of things like cardiovascular disease. That's why it's important to have a conversation with a physician who understands the entirety of the spectrum of disease, so that you can be proactive in your management of your PCO. You're at risk of developing diabetes. You're at risk of heart disease. You're at risk of high cholesterol. You need to have testing at baseline and understand what the trend is through your lifespan, so that you can manage it. It's harder to change habits when you get old. So if you know it young and you have a proper diagnosis, then you can manage your entire lifespan, understanding what you're at risk of and having better outcomes, being healthy.
Okay, so it sounds like there's not a cure for PCOS by the sounds of it. So we're going to manage it, and if so, how are we managing PCOS?
Okay, so you want to, over your lifespan, sort of manage the periodicity of your periods. That's what we call them, periods, right? So you can do that with the birth control pill. That's one of the ways of managing it. But what you want to do is lifestyle things. So you think about eating healthfully, a low glycemic index diet, getting used to getting good sleep-wake patterns. Sleep deprivation also causes release of cortisol, makes you hang on to your weight. That is harder for you when you're already struggling with weight that comes on easily. You want to make sure that you're making right choices about exercise. You want to make sure that you're making choices about protecting the lining of your uterus. So when you're on the birth control pill, it just makes you get a period obligately. It's not making you ovulate, so it's not fixing your PCOS.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you protect the lining of your uterus, because if you don't have periods regularly, you're at risk of endometrial cancer. So that's a big take home.
Wow.
Okay? You have to understand the spectrum of disease and understand how to prevent it and keep yourself healthy in spite of it. You can live with PCO. It's not a death sentence.
We're going to end it on that note. You can live with it.
So interesting.
Wow. Dr. Dixon, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, first time we've tackled this on the show. Fascinating. Why don't we take a break? A lot to digest there. Yeah. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
This week on The Social, astronaut and author Chris Hadfield crash lands in our studio to chat about his latest novel, Final Orbit.
Well, tomorrow is National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, and boy, do we have a lineup of incredible guests joining us. Juno Award-winning singer-songwriter Susan Eglukark will be here to share some of her story. She's got a new memoir out. Cannot miss it. Also, chef and restaurateur Zach Kishig will be here to show us how he's redefining Indigenous cuisine with modern takes on traditional dishes. And we're also going to find out more about initiatives to revitalize Indigenous languages in this country. And we know when you lose a language, you lose a culture, you can lose an entire people. So this is going to be a fascinating discussion. This goes beyond, we want you to wear orange, but this goes beyond. We're now looking at acknowledging it and then action. Action. Tomorrow is about action. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. We've got our podcast. We're on social media everywhere. You can't miss us. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for joining us. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.